here with another video where I share my thoughts and opinions on someone or something going on in this wacky, weird wrestling world. As you can tell by the title below, this one will be one where I share my thoughts and opinions on Penta, former AEW wrestler, former TNA World Champion or Impact Wrestling World Champion. He spent some time in Lucha Underground as well. Would love to know what your thoughts and opinions are on him down in the comments below. It would be greatly appreciated by yours truly. When it comes to him, Penta, I'm talking about him, the wrestler. I have no idea who he is as a human, and I don't think a lot of people within wrestling, like wrestling fans, do and whatnot. First time I ever heard about him was a part of Lucha Underground back like probably a decade ago now. Maybe it was TNA, one of the two. He won the world championship for TNA around the time period he was in Lucha Underground, and I thought, honestly, him in the ring, not necessarily one of my favorites to watch at that time, but it's one of those things that I found him entertaining enough. Like his presence when I say back in the day, it was a decade ago now, but it's one of those things that his kind of presence you can't really teach, whether it was back then or nowadays. And definitely more familiar with him in WWE and in AEW as well. Him in AEW, I wouldn't mind seeing him as like a really like single star, but I can understand why him and Ray Phoenix, his I believe legit brother, were teaming, because phenomenal tag team. His run so far in WWE, has it been picture perfect? No, or at least I don't think it has. Kind of deal. When I say picture perfect, I mean like solid banger after banger after banger. He's had a banger, really good match, really good match, banger, kind of deal. But again, he's been wrestling for like 20 years, give or take. Maybe it's 20 something years, kind of deal. But when it comes to Penta, I think he's a really good fit within WWE. No disrespect to him or AEW, but to me, as somebody who's kind of sort of somewhat familiar with his work, he seems more like a WWE superstar than an AEW wrestler, if that makes sense. Like just the don't get me wrong, he's a good wrestler, but the presence that he has, this charisma, the aura, I think the kids call it nowadays, is more better fitted for WWE than it was for AEW as a solo guy. But then again, he wasn't really given a solo opportunity, off the top of my head at least, and whatnot, in AEW and whatnot. But yeah, when it comes to Penta, he is one of those guys, for myself personally, I really enjoy watching whenever I would watch him pre-WWE, and with WWE being on Netflix up here in Canada, he has quickly become one of my favorites to watch anywhere in WWE, because again, if I know that he's wrestling, he could be wrestling a local enhancement talent and he would somehow make it a good match. No disrespect to the local enhancement talent that WWE has or will use, but they know their role, kind of deal. But yeah, when it comes to Penta, if I had to list a favorite 5 WWE Monday Night Raw wrestlers, he would be somewhere on that list, probably like 3, maybe even number 2 now that I think about it. I don't have the entire Raw roster right in front of me, but he'll definitely be in the top 5, probably top 3, and whatnot. But yeah, overall, him on the microphone, he's better than what I thought he would be, considering English is not his first language, and English in general is hard to learn. English is my one and only language, and I butcher it, let alone somebody who doesn't speak the language naturally, kind of deal, like myself or somebody else, and whatnot. But yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions on him. Would love to know what yours are on Penta. What do you think his ceiling is? Would love to know down in the comments below, and whatnot. But yeah, that's it for this one. Treat yourself as well as possible, mentally, emotionally, and physically, because you deserve the absolute best.